Hey, everybody, it's Greg Harrelson here with the Level Up podcast. And of course, you're probably used to this. I have my great friend, business partner, and phenomenal agent, Brendan Payne, with me to kind of just discuss, a topic that's dear to us. And that topic is about, who are you competing with this particular year? Before I get started, though, I just wanted to take a moment and say first, hey, Brendan, thank you again for joining me.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, and but for a lot of you that don't know Brendan, Brendan and I have been working together for well over 10 years, probably 10, 12 years. Do you know how many years has
16.
it been?
This is 16.
16?
Yep.
Dang, man, your hair doesn't get gray, but your beard gets gray.
It does. It
I
sure
can't
does.
have a beard, so we don't know if mine gets gray, but my head gets gray, but your head doesn't get gray. So
Yep.
maybe it'll catch up. But anyways, I wanted to just mention Brendan's been doing over 150 transactions a year for many years. And he started in this business again 16 years ago as a new agent, and went from I think 30 to 40 transactions the first year, maybe 70 ish the second year, and then well over 100. And after the third year, that's been got to be over 13 years straight, he's been doing over 100 transactions a year. So I just wanted to kind of reference that so you understand that Brendan is definitely an icon and an authority in the industry. But Brendan, let's go ahead and, so congratulations on doing so good. You're probably sitting here saying, Greg, that's enough. But
Yeah. Well, it's January, so I got to do same thing this year. So.
yeah. I guess you're at zero right now, right?
That's right.
So let's talk about this. You and I had a great conversation offline about who we're competing with and how to compete. And one of the things that we thought about is like, there's most of the time when we talk about our competition, we're thinking about other agents in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
But when you brought up this subject, you were thinking something totally different. You brought up our competition, and it's more of we are our competition. Like I
Mm-hmm.
am competing against myself. Let's talk about that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. We love competition. And I think most people that are in this business and you have gotten some level of success, meaning you're still in it, maybe after a year or so, you probably enjoy competition too. And a lot of that goes naturally to, well, I'm competing with these other agents, or I'm competing with this company, and I'm competing with this, and that's fine. But there's another way to look at it, and going into a new year, then what we're going to ask in this is you kind of reflect and say, where are the times that I can benefit from considering myself my only competition? So if you're competing with you, then the end result is you're going to be the best version of you. And you're going to take steps that are going to make you better in the end. And the interesting thing is that's what we're after anyway. We're just after being able to increase our performance, increase our production, increase our potential. And it's the same result as if we're competing against the other guy. It's just a different internal motivation. So maybe, you can run through some of the things that, well, where's that show up then from, maybe first thing in the morning all the way through the different spots in your day, because it happens in a lot of places.
Yeah, one of the things that I was pondering with you, and we didn't necessarily come up with an answer, but I think coming up the question sometimes is more important than coming up with an answer, and that is, where do we lose more money, more time, and more opportunity? Do we lose it? Time, money, and opportunity because we were going head to head with another agent for maybe a listing or working with a buyer, and maybe they won the relationship, or do we lose more money when we're going head to head with ourselves? And do we lose more time and opportunity because we actually get beat by ourselves? And here's where I'll talk about that. Like when the alarm goes off in the morning, there's nobody else that you're competing with except yourself. It's like you're competing with the person. When you set the alarm, when you turn the alarm on, you as a competitor was saying, I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But when the alarm went off, then somebody else, the other you, came in and said, no, you're not.
Yeah.
It was you versus
Point.
you. It was you versus you. So then, and so the key is how much time and money and opportunity have you lost because of that competitor that says, no, don't do it, sleep a little bit longer. Or when you did get up and you're like, you had to make a decision of, are you going to go get some exercise or not? You probably went to sleep. I'm going to get some exercise. I'm going to eat healthy, a healthy breakfast. Well, then all of a sudden, when you woke up and it was the time to make the decision, the other you showed up and says, no, you don't really want to do that. Stay in bed a little bit longer. What about like going to the office, getting to the office at 8 o'clock? You said, I'm going to get to the office early. No, you can get to the office a little bit later. What about lead generation? I'm going to make my calls. No, you're too busy to make calls. See,
Yeah.
nobody but you was involved in that conversation. So I believe us losing to ourselves, is causing us to lose money, time, and opportunity. And when we look at ourselves as being the competitor, now and you put it in the context that I am at this moment, who cares about the rest of the industry,
Hmm.
the rest of the people? They are only so insignificant to my production.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
And you just think how irrational it sounds of having your competition be anybody but you, because I mean, you could go head to head with the same company, same agent, same whatever. What's the most it's going to happen in a year?
yeah.
And how many
Yeah.
times every single day are
Oh,
you competing with yourself? Like
so what?
you're playing the wrong team, man.
So what you're saying is I compete with myself 365 days a year,
Yeah,
but
24/7.
I might only compete against that other agent a few times through the
Yeah,
year, or
yeah,
even have really significant competition is going to be less than 365 times a year.
yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
thought.
And there's also no I don't think there's any surprise on why this happens, because when you choose to compete with yourself, then you're going to have to choose to take responsibility for the things
Mm,
that you do, and that's not an easy thing. But going into a new year, there's not a better time during the year than right now to reinvent and say, you know what, there is nobody else out there that I'm competing with. It's just me. When I wake up, when the alarm goes off, when I've got to do what I got to do, then it's just me and them, because that's the person that I ride along with every single day. It's the only choice you have.
yeah, yeah. So now I'm thinking of a scoreboard, and and I'm thinking, okay, what is your win-loss record
Mm,
when you're competing against yourself, right?
yeah.
What is your
The old
win-loss
version
record?
or the new version.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. So, yeah, so for the audience out there, remember you're competing against you 365 days a year. And I think that point right there is significant, because when I said earlier, do we lose more time, money, and opportunity because we lose to other agents? Or do we lose more time, money, and opportunity because we lose to ourselves? So
Mhm.
if we would just turn our attention away from other agents, wish them all the best of luck, and focus on the 1V, the UVU, which is you versus you, focus on your win-loss record in the you versus you competition, and you'll have more production growth than if you turn your attention on other agents. And
Yeah.
and by the way, talk about leveling up just on a personal level. What will happen if you just focus on UVU?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one, Brendan. Well, I appreciate that. Hopefully, the audience, appreciates that perspective. We created a course called the Objection Handling Mastery course, which is about 20 plus videos of us handling objections. You need to check it out. You can actually just Google Objection Handling Mastery course, or go to Real Estate Sales Solutions, and you'll actually get that opportunity. And then I have a coaching program, group coaching, called Agent Success Academy. So you go to agentsuccessacademy.net and learn more about that if you're interested. Brendan, what's the best way for them to reach you if any of our audience wants to get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can always, go through Facebook or find me through Messenger and Instagram, and always try to reply to those as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and the same with me. I just try to keep it simple. Go to Facebook, hit the messenger button, send me a message if there's a question that I can answer. I'm very responsive to those. Brendan, thank you again, and we'll continue recording these and delivering value to our audience. And for those of you that are continuing to listen to the Level Up podcast, don't forget to give us a little review. That would help. Also, it helps us get guests whenever we want to get guests, and it helps us show up in the search results a lot more, which would be helpful to us. Thank you, Brendan. You have a
Awesome.
good one, bud.
You
All
too.
right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.